5-3. Breaking ball for a strike. Klesko and the Jones boys have homered. Runner goes, lined into left center field. On the run, Leday. He can't get it all the way to the wall. Chipper's going to wind up at third. They're going to wave him. Here's the relay and the throw to the plate, and he is safe. And on the play, Jordan winds up at third.
Chipper, you talk about a very, very exhausting run around the bases. Boy, I hope he's all right. Maybe he just banged himself up a little bit at the plate. This was a hit-and-run play, and Chipper got to second, picked up Ned Yost, who was pointing out where the ball was. So he stops, goes back to by second base. Now I got to go back and touch it again. And I don't think he ever expected to be waved home here. I know you were surprised too, and I was too. Close play, but he's in there and out of gas.
So just like that, it's a one-run game again. And Ryan Klesko with a chance to tie things up or maybe do better than that. Neither team can stand prosperity tonight. 2 balls, no strikes. Bobby Cox checking on Chipper. I think he's all right. 2-1 the count to Ryan. Klesko is homered and single. What a war we've got going here. And another drive to right field. Did he get enough? Yes. And the Braves lead. That's 4 home runs here for Klesko already in his career. And the Braves have the lead again.
Have a night, Ryan.
And I'll tell you, I don't know how this game's going to end up. It's a long way from being over. But if it ends up on the Atlanta side of the column, the one guy that might be forgotten in all of this is Mike Remlinger, who, without him coming in a bases loaded 1-out spot, this whole thing might be different. Mel Stottlemyre, the Yankee pitching coach, is on his way to the mound.
Pretty good swing on a breaking ball. Ryan didn't give up on that pitch and golfed it out of here. But again, the short dimensions very much to his liking, and was able to turn on that breaking ball and put the Braves back on top.
So Maddox is off the hook. He can't win it or lose it. Chipper saying my home run was longer than both of yours.
Well, maybe so, but I'll tell you, Ryan's equal to the task this month with Chipper, the way they're both going.
Jim Evans to the mound to break all this up. There's one out here, and you could hear a pin drop in Yankee Stadium now. But we're a long way from being through with this one.
Well, they're not used to seeing this happen to El Duque. He'd never allowed more than 2 home runs in a game, and tonight he's allowed 4.
Ramiro Mendoza throwing in the bullpen. Well, here's Hobby. Off-speed pitch, hit him out in front.
It may be right about now that Don Baylor has to break out his MVP stuff. Yeah, I know, but were you ever MVP?
He'll say not yet.
Yeah.
0-2. That's the 9th career 2-home run game for Klesko, the 2nd this season. The other one was just the other day against Boston. He's 5 for 5 now in his career against Hernandez with 2 homers, both tonight. Fouled back, and the count stays 0-2. Javi has singled and wrapped into a double play.
That's demoralizing if you're the Yankees, because you've just knocked Greg Maddux out of the game earlier, and he'd been knocked out in a couple of years, and then you turn right around and lose the lead again.
Weak swing for Javi that time. I don't know if the leg bothered him or not, but he didn't have a good swing at all. That is the third strikeout for Hernandez. The first 2 batters in the game, and now he gets one with 1 out in the 5th after giving up 6 runs. Here's Andrew Jones. Into right center field, a soft looper. That'll drop for a hit. A 2-out single for Andrew, and Randall Simon the batter.
It's kind of an afterthought swing. I don't think he really wanted to pull the trigger on that one, but happened to put the bat in the right place on an off-speed pitch that fooled him, and he'll take it. It's kind of a lazy swing here. I think he had his knees buckle a little bit, and then watch this finish. It's kind of like, oh, okay. Wedge.
Now it's Posada going to the mound. Saying, forget what Stottlemyre said. Here's what you should do.
Oh.
Randall at 303, 2 homers, 13 RBI.
Mendoza is probably ready by now. He's had a rough year. Moved from the bullpen to the rotation when Hideki Arabu was struggling, and his ERA has suffered bouncing back and forth.
I know Joe Torre's got a lot of friends back in Atlanta. I spent some time with him today. He looks good. He feels good. And that's going to do it. That's the hook. Joe Torre's on his way. I don't think El Duque is happy about it, but he's got nothing to complain about. He had a rough outing tonight. So Hernandez heads for the showers. Mendoza will come into the game, and we'll be back right after this.
Michelin would like to remind you, there's only one safety feature on the road that actually touches the road. Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
I have painted for over 12 years, so I can give great advice. You're going to have to scrape it, sand it, roll it, or hire the neighbor's kids. We are a real paint store. We've got the professionals. We know how to use the equipment. We've got sprayers. We have stains. We have things for indoors, outdoors. Oh, you come to the right place. We've got every kind of roller and brush. For this one, you're going to need a sprayer. We have the finest quality paints here at an excellent price. Come on in and see why more people buy their paint from us than any other store in America.
Michelin would like to remind you, there's only one safety feature on the road that actually touches the road. Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
And you can personalize your authentic Braves home, road, or batting practice jersey with your name and favorite number. Or you can personalize it with the name and number of your favorite Braves player. All you need is a Braves Clubhouse Collection catalog. You can order your catalog today by calling 1-800-433-BRAVES. Or stop by the Braves Clubhouse stores in Atlanta at CNN Center or North Point Mall.
Ramiro Mendoza on to pitch for New York. Who would have believed that the lines on Orlando Hernandez would be 4 2/3, 8 hits, 6 runs to this point, and 4 home runs. And on Greg Maddux, 3 1/3 innings, 9 hits, and 5 runs. This was supposed to be a great pitching duo.
Yeah, it was.
Ever know.
One guy's 10-6, the other guy 10-5. Both are ERAs under 4. Mendoza's numbers, though, as I was saying, he's made 26 relief appearances, 6 starts. He's got 3 saves. It's kind of been a jack of all trades for the Yankees. But a 4.76 ERA, and the league hitting .292 against him. He walks though, 16 and 75 innings. So 10 homers given up.
Last year he was, well, that's the difference between the Yankees of this year and last year. Last year he was 10-2, a 3.25 earned run average. Walked only 30 in 130 innings, struck out only 56. Randall Simon stands in there.
He's got kind of a Mike Remlinger duty now. Mike came in to try to hold off the Yankees. And now Mendoza's got to try to hold off the Braves.
Mike came in and held off Paul O'Neill and Bernie Williams. That's not too shabby.
Randall had the infield hit last night. 0 for 2 tonight. But he has been fighting it a little bit. He was 2 for 20 on the homestand right before the All-Star break.
Wild pitch all the way to the backstop, and Andrew may wind up at third. He thought about it, but you don't want to make the third out at third, so he scampered back. A base hit could mean an insurance run here.
In the dirt. Long way to go, especially when you can't find the baseball. Andrew was thinking about it. Don and I both agree that Andrew's the best base runner on the team. Not only just speed, but instincts as well. Think Bobby would ever consider going back to that experiment he tried last spring?
Hot shot, but a good play by Martinez, and the inning is over. Still, Atlanta comes right off the deck and scores 3 runs of their own on 3 hits. No errors, 1 left. Pete and Don join you now at the end of 4 1/2. 6-5 Atlanta.
While we could give you a lot of reasons to buy Performance Friction Carbon Metallic Disc Brake Pads from AutoZone, perhaps the most compelling is this. They simply stop shorter than any brand we've ever tested. Performance Friction Carbon Metallic. Ask for them at AutoZone.
She sounded fine at first, but then her voice just wasn't right.
Was she using a cellular phone?
She and her friends got mixed up in this. They signed a contract. They're just kids.
Here, it's Sprint PCS. They built the only all-digital, all-PCS nationwide network, so she'll be heard loud and clear.
Thank you.
It happens, but it's gonna end.
Well, all of the seers and prognosticators had this one right, didn't they, Don? They saw that pitching matchup, Greg Maddux against El Duque, and they said, we're going to see a nice pitcher's battle tonight. Here we are in the middle of the 5th inning, 6-5, 17 hits in the game.
Yeah, one of your partners does a pregame matchup, pitching matchup for the radio part of it, and said there'll be a lot of hitters struggling. Well, the hitters are struggling, but they're struggling to catch their breath from running around the bases tonight.
It has been a wild one to this point. We go to the bottom half of the 5th inning. Mike Remlinger, the pitcher of record, a chance to pick up a win here now. Facing Tino Martinez, the count 0-1. Martinez 0 for 2.
Right now, the biggest part in this game, the biggest role that's been played for the Braves, the 2 quick outs that Remlinger got with nobody scoring. Bases loaded, 1 out. That's a tough mud hole to jump in.
Here's the 0-1 now on the way. And that's at the knees for a called strike, 0-2. Martinez now 0 for 5 in this series, but he has picked up a couple of RBIs in the series. Kind of a streaky hitter. He'll go 4, 5, 6 games in a row and not do much, then all of a sudden break out and have 4, 5, or 6 great games in a row. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Jeff Porter can do everything. He's also a glove doctor.
In the air, right center field, long run for Andrew Jones. Makes another fine running catch out there. Boy, he's covered some ground in that outfield this series. Going back, coming in, going to left center, going to right center.
Well, he'll tell you it helps knowing what the pitcher's going to do. That first step has made all of the plays for him. The diving catch, the first step got him headed in the right direction. That time his momentum and the quick 2 or 3 steps makes those last couple of steps look awfully easy.
One gone. That'll bring up Chili Davis, who has grounded out to second and singled. The Yankee designated hitter facing Mike Remlinger. A check swing, fouls off the first one, 0-1.
For Greg Maddux tonight, it was a matter of inches and fractions of inches, pitches that were just missing, but for Hernandez, it was a matter of feet and miles. You put those home runs together, no hang time, but a lot of home runs. He came into this ball game having only given up 9, but that all changed in a hurry.
0-1 the count. Inside corner, it's 0-2. Now a 2-strike pitch. Is it foul on the play? Right side. That'll make it into the upper deck, which is just about full tonight. Almost a sellout crowd. They are 110% sold out for tomorrow. Every ticket gone for tomorrow afternoon and then some.
You mean they've overbooked and they're asking for volunteers to not show up?
They're asking for volunteers, but not to not show up. But maybe to stand up. However, you do not get a free lunch. Upstairs, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
We were talking about what a pivotal role Mike Remlinger has played. How about the plays that Brian Jordan has made in right field tonight?
Clemente-like plays on occasion in that corner.
He has saved a couple of runs, I know.
Here's a 1-2, and that missed low and away. 2-2. The only 1-2-3 inning for a Braves pitcher was back in the 2nd for Greg Maddux. And the only 1-2-3 inning for the Yankees was in the 1st inning for Hernandez.
And, you know, that might have been, maybe we should have viewed that as a little bit of a tip-off on Greg Maddux, because the first 2 outs in the 2nd inning were fly ball outs. And for Maddux, he may sometimes go a whole ball game and not get 2 fly ball outs.
Full count, 3-2. Fought that one off. It stays 3-2 on Chili Davis. Yankees getting a little push again from Boston. The Red Sox 3 games back, and Toronto snuck back into the picture in the American League East. They're only 7 back.
See, that's made a lot of people at the top of the leagues and near the tops unhappy, because they were all looking to deal with Toronto. Right now, there are so many people who are not out of it.
First base foul territory and out of play.
There's so many people not out of it. The next 2 weeks might be difficult times for some teams who are trading or who would like to trade, because there are about there are probably 12 or 13 ball clubs that you can't count out, so that really limits the fishing pond.
1 out, base is empty. A 3-2 pitch again due to Chili Davis. And he lost in ball 4. That was a good at bat for Davis. Fouled off some tough pitches. Drew the walk. And Ricky Leday will be the batter. Leday is flying to left and singled. Ball for a strike, 0-1. Got a couple of pitchers in roles right now that you don't see that much anymore. That long middle relief. Got so many starting pitchers now that get you into the 6th or 7th inning. And it's kind of an inning at a time. But right now, both Joe Torre and Bobby Cox need some innings out of Remlinger and Mendoza.
And Remlinger is a guy because of his past experience as a starter you can call on for this. And he may be a guy that has made one of the biggest changes this year and has adapted and become the most successful. His job in this role for the Braves has been spectacular.
Into right field. That's going to drop in for a base hit for Leday. Another good play by Jordan, getting to it quickly. And runners now at first and second with one man out.
I really think that was a setup pitch. I'm not sure that Mike Remlinger wanted this to catch any of the strike zone. He tried to come inside with it. Got a little cutting action on it, out over the plate. A lot of times you pop that pitch inside to try to set up the breaking ball. And I'll bet you if you ask him, he didn't want that to be a strike.
10th Yankee hit, and the batter will now be the catcher Jorge Posada, who is fly to center and singled. A ball and no strikes on Posada. To get some more Atlanta bullpen activity. Brett Boone, long throw to Weiss, on to first for the double play. So Boone, Weiss, and Simon turn it to get Remlinger out of some hot water in the 5th inning. It is still 6-5 Atlanta.
The Superstation. Keanu Reeves, Patrick Swayze, Point Break, Saturday night, 8:05 Eastern, only on the Superstation.
I just spent over an hour at Play It Again Sports looking for rollerblades for my son, and I can't tell you how impressed I was with the knowledge of the staff and their willingness to help.
At Play It Again Sports, you'll find great service and knowledge on inline skates, as well as a great selection from names like K2,
Rollerblade,
Mission Roller Hockey,
plus our new line of Solomons.
From children to adult sizes, you'll find your best selection for the best price. We carry a variety of inline skates, safety gear, wheels and bearings, skateboards, and soap shoes.
Plus, ask about our skate rentals.
Trade in, trade up, or cash out at Play It Again Sports.
Sweeter, fresher, better than ever. Harvest fresh blueberries, only 98 cents a pint at your Winn-Dixie Marketplace. Isn't life delicious?
Time for us to take a look at our Budweiser game summary. It's a 6-5 lead for the Braves. Both of these aces, Maddox and Hernandez, who had been on rolls, both pitching well in 5 out of their last 6 starts, are not going to be around for the end of this one. It has been a home run night for the Braves. Plesko, Jones, and Brosius, the hitting star thus far for the New York Yankees. A lot of hits, and we're only halfway home. 6-5 the score. That's your Budweiser game summary.
And here in the 6th inning, it'll be Eddie Perez. Then back at the top of the order, Walt Weiss and Brent Boone against Ramiro Mendoza. Eddie Perez hit by a pitch back in the 2nd inning, lined out to short in the 4th inning. That'll be out of play, 0-1.
National League fans don't get to see nearly as many of these kind of games as American League fans do, or runs scored over on the American League side. Boy, there is a wealth of baseball knowledge right there.
strength.
Don Zimmer with a couple of knees bugging him. He's hoping to get by without having to have surgery for a while, but it looks like he's going to have one replaced and the other one scoped. One of the all-time good guys in baseball.
He's the guy that ran the club in Joe Torre's absence when Torre was out being treated for the cancer earlier this year. Been around baseball for 50 years plus.
There's a great story told about him, and I don't know if it's true or not, where he said he's never made a paycheck a single day from any other profession than baseball. I think he went to work as a carpenter or something one day, got there, didn't like it, went home. He said, I don't think so. I think I'll stay in baseball.
That's fouled away, still 2-2.
Of course, a lot of those good stories have been embellished somewhat, but I have heard him say that he has never worked a day at anything other than baseball.
Well, I can believe it. Long career as a player, both in the minors and the major leagues. Coach, manager. Back up the middle, that might get through, and does. Base hit for Eddie Perez. Well, the Braves continue the hit parade against Yankee pitching. That's hit number 9 for Atlanta. And we'll go back to the top of the order now. Walt Weiss, who would like to join that hit parade. 0 for 3 tonight, 0 for 8 now in the series. Brocious has come in about a step on the grass at third, just in case. Weiss not showing bunt. Grounds one. Brocious, nice play down on one knee. His only play, though, beyond the first. He just does get it there in time to get Weiss. So the Braves sending a runner and trying a little hit and run. Get the runner down to second. One out now. The batter will be Brett Boone.
Very timely call by Bobby Cox, because if he doesn't send the runner, that's a double play. Ball got to Brocious very quickly.
Boone is struck out. Fly to center. Fly to right. Inside corner. One and one now on Boone. Game has gone back and forth. The Yankees led 2-0. Braves went ahead 3-2. Yankees went ahead 5-3. Now the Braves on top 6-5. Another ground ball to third, almost the same spot. Brocious looked to run it back or tried to, but Eddie Perez was already past him. Did you see Scott Brocious on that play? It's so typical for a third baseman to pick up the ball, look back, see the runner moving back towards second base. I think that's what he and Jeter are laughing about right now. He looked over and there was no runner. That's because Eddie Perez had taken off on contact and was behind him.
Here's a look at him. Once the ball is hit, he sees Brocious come in. Brocious looks to second. But there's nothing he could have done anyway, because Eddie Perez was on the move. He couldn't have reversed himself and gone back. You take it out.
So there are 2 outs now. Runner at third for Chipper Jones, who hit a long home run back in the third inning off the facade of the upper deck. He's also flied to left and walked. 22 homers, 58 RBIs now, and 8 of those home runs have come in Chipper's last 13 games. After that long power drought of over 20 games without one. That's just foul. Here's that home run he hit back in the third inning. You don't see many hit up in this part of Yankee Stadium.
That get there as quickly.
Nothing in 2 with a runner at third. It's 1-2 on Chipper Jones.
That Chipper Jones is making now, what is different is that a few weeks ago it was lagging through the strike zone, the bat, but not now.
Well, after getting ahead 0-2, Mendoza has now gone to a full count, 3-2. The 3-2 to Chipper, and he lost him. Ball 4. A check swing didn't go, says Larry McCoy. Well, they're at first and third now.
We've had a few of these already in this series, and that was the right call.
Second time tonight, Chipper has walked. First walk issued by Mendoza. The batter now will be Brian Jordan, who has grounded out to short and walked and doubled. The double driving in a run. He now has 75 RBIs.
He has been so consistent all year long. He hasn't had 25-game hitting streaks, but he hasn't gone 0 for 20 anytime either. He's the kind of guy that will 1 for 3 you to death.
Yeah, when you look at all the other guys in the batting order that play just about every day, you look at what they're hitting now, you can think of some point this season where they're either hitting 30 points higher or 30 points lower. You look at where Brian Jordan is right now, 298. He's been right around that mark, that 300 mark, a little bit over, a little bit under, all season long. Outside corner, off speed, 0-2.
Well, I just flipped open my scorebook near the front. It's the Phillies. He's at 306.
Only an 8-point difference from his current at bat. Those are the throws to first that mystify me. You get 2 outs in the inning. You get an 0-2 count on the hitter. And all of a sudden you're concerned about the runner at first. Ground ball third. Brocious, nice backhanded play. All 3 assists in the inning belong to Scott Brocious. Brave strand runners at first and third. And we go to the bottom half of the 6th.
This is too many pictures.
Girl, look at this mess.
They're all mixed up.
Honey, is it in one of the shoe boxes?
Maybe they're in here.
This is not organized. I got to get this together.
No.
Here's a fish. This is a dead fish.
Introducing Picture CD from Kodak and Intel. It keeps your new pictures organized. Plus, you can crop them, remove red eye, email, and even print them. Starting with your next roll of film, get a CD with your prints.
This is ridiculous.
Allow us to present America's best warranty. One with 10 years, 100,000 miles powertrain coverage, 5 years, 60,000 miles bumper-to-bumper protection, and 5 years unlimited mileage roadside assistance. Who makes such solid cars that they can offer a warranty this strong? Presenting the Hyundai Advantage. It's yours on every 1999 Hyundai.
When I take a liquid antacid, I feel like, ugh.
Well, now there's new fast-acting Mylanta Supreme.
What makes it supreme?
Wow.
Oh, that's good. I'm not kidding.
Very light. Yeah, it tastes like a dessert.
Supreme relief. Taste it for yourself.
Rogaine Extra Strength is proven to work for 4 out of 5 men.
I like my chances.
Only Rogaine has extra strength, and it's proven to stop hair loss or regrow hair. Rogaine Extra Strength, proven to work.
Going to the bottom half of the 6th inning. Braves up by a 6-5 count. We've got Scott Brocious, Chuck Knobloch, and Derek Jeter.
And Bobby Cox would like to have Mike Remlinger get him through this inning.
A New York-sized lemonade there, boys. Scott Brocious, a 2-run single his last time up. He's also bounced back to the pitcher. Outside corner for a called strike. McGlinchey and Chen up in the Atlanta bullpen. Chen's scheduled to be the starting pitcher on Monday in Toronto. little one-hopper to third. And a quick first out here in the bottom half of the 6th. You know, on the day before the Braves opened the series in New York yesterday, that was the night the Braves flew up from Atlanta to New York. And everybody gathering in the clubhouse after getting back together after the All-Star break, talking about coming to Yankee Stadium. And a lot of talk about old ballparks like Yankee Stadium, even though this one's been reconfigured a little bit. And then one of the things, this is Bobby Cox and Pat Corrales, some of the other coaches talking, one of the things you used to always have to think about before you went into a ballpark on the road was, where are they picking up your signs from? Because everybody used to have spies back in the old days. Sometimes they were inside a scoreboard. Sometimes they were up in the stands. They got talking about the old Milwaukee Braves and how Bob Buell got caught one day at Wrigley Field. He was out sitting in the bleachers at Wrigley Field with binoculars and a scorecard, looking in, getting the catcher's signs, holding up a scorecard in his right hand if it was going to be a fastball, and his left hand if it was going to be a breaking ball, or maybe just giving location. And he got caught. And the question came up, well, how did he get caught? Well, it was 38 degrees at Wrigley Field that day. He was the only one out there. There was nobody else in the bleachers. Kind of hard to blend in with the crowd, but you're out there with a scorecard and binoculars flashing scorecards left and right.
Yeah, that's a guy I'd have out there, too. A guy who, what, 0-11 for his career?
That section all darkened now to be the hitting background. Those seats used to be used when football was played here. Here's Derek Jeter now. Jeter 2 out of 2, pair of singles and a walk. High in the air, out toward dead center field. Back goes Andrew Jones. Still going, still going. It's gone. Dead center field, and we are tied. Home run number 15. And RBI number 62 for Derek Jeter.
Boy, he generates a lot of power and a lot of bat speed with a nice, easy swing, doesn't he? He doesn't look like a guy that would be capable of taking it 420 to straightaway center. Out away from him, almost a one-handed swing. Look how far this ball carries. Still carries. Backspin. Deepest part of the ballpark.
All tied at 6 on Derek Jeter's 15th homer of the year. A perfect 3 for 3 tonight, and he came into the game leading the league in hitting. Now Paul O'Neill taking ball 1.
Chuck Knobloch just asked him, what did he hit? The reason I figure that's what he asked him, you could see him saying changeup. Got it up, changeup.
Got his average for the year up to 378 now for the year. That's in for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. It's only the 3rd home run given up by Remlinger this year. Chipper throws out Paul O'Neill. That ends the inning, but a home run by Derek Jeter, the longest home run hit by the Yankees in this series. Dead center ties the game at 6 as we head to the 7th.
Here's to you, and here's to me. The best of friends will always be. But should we ever disagree? Heck with you, and here's to me.
Brewing with imported hops and caramel malts makes it a taste worth trying. But this brew is from O'Doul's, and that makes it a taste worth toasting. O'Doul's Amber Non-Alcohol Brew. Cheers. Huh?
Well, I live out here on a little old farm. I got a pickup, 2 tractors, a mower, and a little old boat.